Recording. Yeah, so in today class, this is the first class of Informatica MDM SaaS training. So as we know that Informatica MDM SaaS is nothing but it's a cloud version of Informatica MDM on-premises, what we had earlier in the market. So for understanding this, we should know the history of Informatica MDM on-premises, and then we will try to come to Informatica MDM SaaS. So Informatica MDM on-premises, basically this looks like this. People who are not aware about MDM on-premises, so just for the knowledge information. So Informatica MDM on-premises, the console looks like this. Apart from that, we have other advanced things which are embedded in that I like provisioning, FTBOS, user exit and all. So this was running in the market from last 20 years, and it was one of the leading tool in the MDM industry. Now Informatica have introduced a cloud version because all of us know that all the applications are now moving to cloud. So to fight the competition, Informatica has also introduced that cloud version of this MDM application, and that was just launched 2 years back. So still we have many kind of gaps, many kind of bugs in the MDM cloud. So people who are using the MDM cloud, they can understand the pain. There are lots of gaps are there because this application was there in market from last 20 years. So this was very stabilized application, and we had lots of control over here because in on premises, for example, this application I have set up in my server. So like that, wherever we are working in our organization, so in on premises we used to set up the landscape of the MDM in our own organization, and we will have the full control of that, right? Even we can control the server through the infra team, we can control the database through the DB and all. So overall, we can do the full control of the landscape. But here in the cloud, we have lots of restriction. In cloud, the problem is that everything will be taken care by MDM, especially the vendor, that is Informatica. So if you are facing any issue, then we have to contact Informatica infra team or Informatica support team, and then they will take action. So this is the first pain we have in the means cloud application, that we will not have any control. Yes, we will have a few controls through the admin application. So here we have the admin application, administrator application of MDM SaaS. This looks like that. And here you can see that I have hidden few of the part of the this application. So only the username through which I have logged in, I have hidden that because this is not allowed to means showcase the user ID through which I have logged in. So the only that part is hidden, other part you are able to see. Okay. So this is the admin console through which we will do the administration of Informatica MDM SaaS. And here they have given few of the features through which we can do the control, we can manage the application. But still at many places we will see in the coming classes, we will not have that much flexibility to apply the configurations and all because this is hosted on the cloud, and the cloud server through which this is connected, if they are making any change, that is going to impact the entire landscape through which means entire cloud. Okay. So problem is that in on premises, suppose if you are setting any application like this, you can play with that. It will only impact your landscape. Suppose someone is working in TCS and they have one project in TCS and they have set up on-premises in TCS. So if they are making any change in this application, even they are trying to customize the application through the user exit and all, or they are trying to integrate the applications, so those are going to affect only that on-premises organization. They are not going to impact other projects or other organization, right? So that flexibility we had in on-premises. So this part we are going to miss in cloud because in cloud if we find any bug, especially a hotfix or something, so in on-premises, if this is a production bug or something, if that is a kind of high priority bug, and if we will escalate to Informatica, they can give a hotfix within a week or within 2 weeks. So that I had faced when I was working in Singapore on site. So we had some production bug through which we used to miss the data on daily basis in production. So we escalated that means ticket, and they given a hotfix within 2 weeks, and we applied that hotfix in the MDM on premises in this application, and our issue was resolved. But this thing we are not going to get easily in the cloud, because in cloud, if they are going to apply any hotfix, they have to make sure that other organization or other vendor are not going to impact, because for them there is a central server where MDM cloud has been hosted and through which other organizations are connecting. So maybe there could be a specific issue with the on-premises for one vendor. That issue is not there with the other vendor. So in case of on-premises, you can easily fix up and it will only impact that vendor. So the kind of risk is less. But in cloud, if you are making some change, and if that change is again creating some other problem for other organization, then it will be a kind of more risky solution. So in case of cloud, if we find some bug, production bug or any bug which we highlighted to Informatica for fixing, so they do provide the solution, but they will provide solution after a long time. They're not going to provide you solution in a week or in a 2 week, because they have to do kind of throw testing for other organizations as well, and they have to make sure that that solution is not impacting the other organization or other vendor. So they can take 2 months, 3 months, 4 months also for providing a one hotfix solution, even that is impacting your production data as well. So this is the one pain point we have in the cloud. And I think this pain point is there in all the cloud applications, because the cloud applications will be used by multiple vendors. So if they hear something from one vendor, they cannot directly go and apply the solution. They have to take the consideration from other vendors as well. So this is the first difference we have in the on-premises and cloud. Apart from features, so in features, as we know that this cloud, whatever they have launched now through IDMC, so this is 2 years back they have launched. So it has lots of kind of glitches. So glitches in the sense this application is still not much stable as compared to on-premises. But yes, this have many advantages as well as compared to on-premises. Advantage in the sense, in on-premises, we don't have any kind of options to import the data or dump the data in landing table, because this on-premises was starting from dumping data in landing table through ETL or through other process, or we had a platform staging option as well through Informatica Power Center. We can directly dump the data in a stage. Then our journey was starting in on-premises. But this drawback or this kind of constraint they have removed. So here what we can do, we will see in our upcoming classes. So we can directly dump the data through Business 360 or through the other applications through this import and export wizard. We can directly dump the data through flat file as well, through CSV as well, or through other sources, Salesforce or database, whatever we have. Okay. So we can directly dump the data in base subject table, that is main table of Informatica MDM. And then we can start playing like matching, merging. And so this is the big advantage we have. Earlier we used to miss this because in a
Sujit,
small, yeah. So I
Sujit,
request you please be in mute. I will give some time for the question and answer.
okay.
No, so please give me some time. Yeah. So earlier, yeah, this gap we had in the means on-premises, so they have introduced this kind of solution to overcome that gap. So this is a very big advantage we have, because especially for the small vendors who are having the small landscape for the MDM, they don't have much sources, so they can easily bring the data through this flat file or through the other sources, and they can start playing with the MDM solution. So this is the one of the biggest advantage we have in the MDM size. And the second advantage we have, that earlier, if you guys remember, if you have worked in MDM project, that for bringing the data from different sources to MDM in landing table and all, we had to have some ETL applications, or we have to write some PLSQL procedure or whatever things. That was very complex part we had. Without that, we cannot bring the onboard the data in landing table, and we cannot play with the MDM application on premises. So to overcome this gap, they have introduced this MDM SaaS, considering this is a low code and no code kind of concept. Low code and no code, that means whatever coding we used to do here in MDM on premises, like Java coding, sometimes we had to do Java coding as well, sometimes web services coding, sometimes this data modeling and all here. So they have tried to simplify this. Now they are kind of aiming that if earlier some project was taking 10 months, to implement. Now it should be implemented in 2 months or 3 months. At least we should get a 5x faster implementation time. Why? Because they have removed the complex technical parts, and they try to implement no code or low code kind of concept in the MDM SaaS. So at most of the places we will see, we are not writing much complicated code, and we are able to do our work through drag and drop or through the configurations. So this is the biggest advantage we have. Earlier we don't have. So due to these two advantage, now most of the vendor are trying to adopt this, MDM vendors. So due to these two differences, now we have two kind of projects in the market. Still, if you guys are working in MDM project, you know that 90% of the projects are still on the MDM on-premises, like Informatica on-premises. Now, customer day by day trying to migrate their project from on-premises to cloud. But for that, we don't have any adapter available that which can migrate our on-premises to cloud in one shot. We have few kind of adapters from third party from Informatica as well, and that have lots of gap. So after using that adapter as well, while migrating, we have to do lots of manual work. That means we should have the developers who know on-premises and who know the MDM cloud, so that they can take care of those gaps after the migration. So currently, most of the projects in MDM, we are getting migration, like in Informatica MDM on-premises to Informatica MDM cloud, and very few 10 to 15% project we are getting like they are trying to implement MDM through the MDM SaaS on a scratch. So they don't have any MDM implementation, or if they have in the different project. They have introduced new project. There they are trying to implement the MDM through MDM SaaS on a scratch. Okay. Now I will take a pause here. I will give chance you guys to ask your questions, then we can move ahead. Yes, please.
Yeah, Sujit, this is Srinivas. So I had a question on that file import, right? So even in on-prem also, with 10.1 onwards, we have that bulk import option, right, in the UI when we log in. So what is that difference between that feature and what we explained now?
Yeah, that whatever you are saying that bulk import option, whatever we had in the means customer 360 or through that UI, so that
Mm.
had limitation. Like if you want to do huge data bulk import, that will not accept. So that was only for kind of if you have limited data, thousands or hundred of data,
Mm.
and
Mm.
manually if you want to onboard those customers or those products, then that feature they have introduced that manually you can do that from the backend through the means customer 360 or whatever you have into the 360. Okay.
Okay.
But in this feature, you can even onboard huge data. So if you will try to onboard, suppose millions of billions of data, you can do that. And
Okay.
here in the job, we can monitor. We will do that. We will see these all parts in our upcoming classes.
Okay. Okay.
So once this import will run, here we can monitor the job. And
Mm.
once we have to just create the connection here, we will see.
Mm.
And
Mm.
after creating the connection, it's a very simple thing. Just we have to run the job, and once the job will run, here we can see the job kind of status, and it will internally create 4 5 jobs.
Mm.
So
Right.
if it will onboard the data, so it will try to first load the data in base object, then it will try to create index, and then it will try to means apply some data standard rule as well if you have created some default rules. So this all part will be taken care in one shot without
Okay.
writing any ETL job or anything. Na? So we have more kind of flexibility here. We have
Mm.
more features here because
Okay.
this is one of the best features they have introduced in the MDM SaaS.
Mm. So here, on the data volume point of view, no
Yeah,
limitation. High
data
volume
volume
data also we can.
and
Yeah.
data volume, data kind of loading performance, data kind of standardization. This all thing has been improved here
Mm.
in the
Mm.
input option.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Even
So,
in this console part, we don't had any input option. That option was only there for the users, not through this Entity 316 on premises. We don't had
right.
any option here. Like if developer want to import, so they have to come through landing and stage process, right? But
Mm.
that feature they had given in Entity 360 for kind of onboarding a few of the data for customer support. So
Right.
they have made that option more advanced here in MDM size, and they have given more flexibility and features so that we can use that for data loading. We
Right.
can use
Got
that
it.
feature for data loading. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can create some job for that and we can schedule that job as well. So that will give us that flexibility as well. That feature we don't have na, in 360. We have to
Yes.
do manual. So even here we can create some job which will read the data from flat file and we can schedule as well. So that can run on regular basis.
Right. And the third capability you mentioned, Sujit, can you repeat that? The first one is what are the changes need to happen that will impact all other customers. That's the one. And second one is file import. And third one you mentioned the data integration, right? That is also major difference. Can you repeat that
Yeah,
third
yeah,
point?
right. Sure, sure. So third point I mentioned that earlier for onboarding data in landing table, we had to have some ETL tools, Power Center, data, any ETL tool. Through that, we used to read the data from different applications and we used to onboard data in landing table or stage table. Then we used to start our journey that we had in on-premises. In MDM SaaS, what they have done, they have integrated these all applications. They have integrated most of the applications what Informatica have. So as we know that Informatica earlier had in on-premises Power Center, Informatica Data Quality, Informatica Power Exchange, Informatica MDM, and Product 360 and all, right? So they have integrated all applications here. So suppose you want to read the data from Salesforce and you want to apply some ETL logic and then you want to put the data in MDM. So for that, as a customer, you no need to set up a kind of ETL landscape. You no need to kind of install Power Center and all for doing that. What you have to do, just you can directly click on this data integration and here you can write a kind of ETL code and in the target connection, you can just mention Business 360 connection and it will read the data from Salesforce or whatever sources we have and it will directly push the data in base object table, MDM base object table. So for that, just you have to click on this application and it will open it here. So the beauty of this is we have no need to kind of set up, install this Power Center or ISCS separately. It is already integrated. So just you click and use it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So this
Got
is
it.
the best feature we have.
Mm.
Apart from that, I means ETL part, we again have this data quality. So as we know that sometime we need to have the data profiling or kind of data sampling and all part. So for that, we have data profiling. We can do here data profiling. Here we have data sampling or kind of we can write some rule for data cleansing, data standardization, and data quality part. So for that part as well, no need to install IDQ separately. This is already available here. If you have the appropriate license, then just you click it like this data integration and you use it. That's it. You directly create now your ETL job here. Okay. So that's the best part we have in this cloud. So
Right.
everything is available at one place. Just you buy the license and just you use it. You should not worry for installation and kind of infra part of that. That will be taken care by Informatica. That's the best part we have. Yeah.
Sujit,
Thanks.
Kapil this side.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Sujit, I have one question. Like you explained that on-premises are now moving to cloud version. So after which on-premise version Informatica stop giving us support and start moving to MDM cloud? Like for Power Center, they have stopped after 10.x.
Yeah, so for MDM SaaS, now in the market, it was there 10.4. I think they have launched 10.5 as well. I'm not sure for that, but last version which I worked, that was 10.4.
Okay.
So still, they are not going to stop this 10.4 or 10.5, whatever they have, because they understand that they have lots of gap here,
Okay.
especially in the MDM segment. No? So
So,
IS
uh,
ETL segment was a kind of little simpler when they migrated to Informatica Power Center to IICS.
mhm,
So that was not have a major issue because if you have worked in IICS, you
right.
will see that all the transformation which was available in on-premises that is available in the ISCS as well. So that was a simple kind of migration from on-premises to cloud for them. So that's why their application become stable and they stop the support. But for MDM, we are hoping that at least for next 2 years, they are not going to stop this on-premises because most of the project are still there on on-premises, 90% project. So at least for next 2 years, they will support and they will launch a new version as well on on-premises because they
Oh,
have to compete in the market with other vendor as well, right?
right, right.
So they are going to launch. new version as well after 10.4 or 10.5 in the on-premises, and they are going to make this cloud more stable in next 2 years. So, for example, for information, I'm telling you, they are making the change in MDM segment every month.
Okay, got it.
So they are introducing new feature in this MDM segment every month. Okay. So you can
Okay.
understand how aggressive they are to make their MDM cloud stable. Okay, because they know that they have lots of gaps, lots of kind of
Mhm.
new feature introduction and all. So they are working aggressively to compete with MDM cloud vendors like Relative they have, other vendors they have. They're trying to compete with them because most of the customer they don't want this kind of technical part. They want that my developer should complete the work which earlier he was doing in 10 months, he can do in 2 months. So
Right.
if that kind of scalability and kind of cost savings they have, of course they will try to move on the cloud. So Informatica try to convince their customers who are there on on-premises, but they are not getting the feedback or trust 100% because customers who are trying to move, they are
Mhm.
facing lots of pain.
Okay.
Okay, so
And
still they have lots of things to introduce in MDM SaaS, and every year, kind of every month, every kind of quarter, we will see that they are making some changes. They are kind of introducing new features.
yeah. And one more question arises, Sujit here. Is there any cost of license difference they have for on-premise and for cloud? Like on-premise is less costly and cloud is more costly.
Yeah, so that's a very good point. Thanks for reminding this. Yeah, on the licensing point of view, on the costing point of view, they are more serious. So they are trying to bring down the cost of the customer. Okay, that is their main intention as well. That
Mhm.
earlier, if some customer was kind of spending 1 million US dollar for some of the implementation, so at least their cost should reduce by 10, what we say, 10x times.
Okay.
So, so they have to make their reduce customer cost by 10x percentage. Okay. So on that model they are working, and that the difference we will have in the kind of licensing model as well. Okay. So if earlier you used to pay suppose 1000 USD, now you have to pay around 100 or 200 USD in that ratio.
So that is benefit of cloud, right? Right.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
Maybe
So. Mhm.
this is a marketing strategy because in the starting they want to make use of the MDM cloud application. Later they can restructure that licensing option. But now that is it's having
Yeah,
very huge difference. Yeah,
because
yeah.
this is the point through which clients are going to move to the cloud. Otherwise, they will stuck to on-premise only.
Right, you are correct. Yeah.
So from training point of view, we have to do hands-on on both the tools, right? MDM on-premise and cloud to get the better understanding of project. And
Yeah. So if I think you have not worked on MDM on premises, right?
yeah, I have not worked on MDM, but extensively worked on IICS. And
ISCS is still a different, it's ATL application, it's just
yes,
replacement of Informatica Power Center.
right.
So if you are new to MDM, so
Mhm.
it's not mandatory that you have to work in on-premises because now they are promoting this cloud. So if you know the basic concept of MDM, which I will cover in my training, suppose you are completely new to MDM, then again you will be able to understand all the things. Okay. So it's
Okay.
not mandatory that for understanding the MDM SaaS cloud, you should know the on-premises. It's not mandatory. Okay, because there is a huge difference they have made in the kind of on-premises to cloud. So here you can see most of the people who are already from MDM on-premises, they know MDM on-premises. They are learning the MDM cloud because both are the separate applications.
Right.
So if some people are from Power Center, they can easily learn ISCS by themselves as well. There is not much difference. But in case of MDM, they've completely changed the tool.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So if you would like to learn, you have to learn MDM on premises separately. That I do conduct the training. That is a 40 hours training, and we can discuss on that. But this training, this batch is only for the MDM SaaS. And of
Okay.
course, I know that many people who are from non-MDM background, so we'll cover the MDM basics and all, so that we can all drive together.
Okay. Thanks, Vijay.
In the training part, like, will you show like how the MDM will migrate to like this SaaS version? Like, how we can migrate, like what we can use, something like
Yeah,
that.
so that after the training, once our training will complete in the project segment, I will go through with that steps, like what the steps we do use. But this project part we will not do in the training. But yes, I will make sure that I will mention all the steps which we follow in the project for migration. So that will be taken care in the migration project overview of the training.
So like in the MDM, we have like BA services. So like, do we have any other services over here, something like that?
Yeah, business entity services you are saying, right? So
Yeah.
that kind of services we have here. So that we will see in the advanced class once we'll complete the basic part. So at the time of kind of integration and all, we will see that.
Thank you.
Yeah, so just we went through with the overview. Now let's come to the slide. So after each of the class, you will get some notes and all. So that will be available at one place. You can watch the video, and down the video you will have the notes and everything. So that we will instruct how you can access the notes, assignment, and all the videos that we will guide after the training. So we understood little kind of differences of MDM on-premises and MDM SaaS. Now here you will hear two terms if you are new to this cloud. One is IICS. So IICS is nothing but Informatica Intelligent Cloud Services. So when they migrated Informatica Power Center to Informatica Cloud, they named that services as a IICS. That is called IICS. Basically, it's nothing but replacement of Informatica Power Center to cloud. Okay. Now you can hear a second term that is called IDMC. So IDMC is what Informatica Intelligent Data Management Cloud. So within the IDMC suite, they have integrated the entire entire Informatica applications. So this is our, let me show you. So this is basically our IDMC. They have still not renamed it to IDMC. It should be renamed to IDMC. Should not be so here IICS. Okay. So why it is showing IICS? The reason is first they introduced they migrated kind of Informatica Power Center on-premises to Informatica Cloud. They named as a IICS. Okay, let me show like this. So first they given this name as a IICS. Now they have not renamed this name by mistake, and they have introduced other kind of things within that one. So this should be renamed as now IDMC, but still they have not renamed it. Later maybe they will change it. And within that, we have all the applications we can see. We have data quality, MDM, ETL, profiling, all the applications we have, all the MDM kind of other applications. Okay. So IDMC refers to kind of complete Informatica application suites, and IICS only refers the ETL part, that is Informatica Power Center Cloud part. Okay. So these two terms we will get. Now let's try to understand the basic concept of MDM for those people who are new to the MDM, and we will cover the basic concept of MDM. Then we can jump on the working on the MDM SaaS. So people who are already aware about MDM, they just can stay on a standby for a few minutes and let me complete this basic part of MDM.
So I have one question. So like in
Yes,
the
Manoj.
IDMC we have all the products.
Yeah.
Then what is this like SaaS? Like what is the difference between these two?
So that I will come on that. So SaaS means is a software as a service. So SaaS is a kind of one you can say methodology in the cloud computing world. So through SaaS, this SaaS is not being used only in Informatica. This is a very common terminology. Okay. So this terminology is very common in cloud computing, in the cloud kind of landscape. So SaaS means you install application at one place, and you give some agent to the clients or to the end users, and through agent they will access that application. So to make it more easier, SaaS means earlier in on-premises we had a client server model, right? We used to install our application at one server, and we used to have the different client through which we used to connect. So suppose there are five developers, so we used to uh, have this MDM console for five developers, and they can connect to the same server. Now, what they have done in the SaaS, they have set up a server at one place, and that will be under the vendor control, that is Informatica control. And what they are saying, if you would like to connect to this server through cloud, you have to install one agent that is called secure agent. In this case, we will see how to install that. And through secure agent, you can connect. So that kind of methodology or model is called SaaS, software as a service. That means distribution of software through a kind of this model. You have to install a service server at one place on the cloud, and you have to give the access to the end users or developers to connect that server through this secure agent. That model is called SaaS, software as a service. This is a common terminology. It's not being used only in Informatica. This is being outside of Informatica as well. Okay.
Sujit, one question here.
Yeah.
For IICS, they use the terminology iPaaS. So for MDM, they are using SaaS, correct?
Yeah. This terminology SaaS they have introduced in MDM, because I'm not sure about IICS. I am not much worked on IICS, that is ETL
Because
part, but
they called IICS as iPaaS service, platform as a service.
okay.
So why are they calling MDM as software as a service?
Yeah, because MDM, they have set up their model in that way, how I explained, that their servers is at one place, and they have given secure agent to connect. I'm
Okay.
not sure that in IICS you guys install secure agent or not to
We
connect.
install secure agent.
Okay, so in MDM, they give the secure agent and they give the key, and through that key we integrate the secure agent to the cloud, and we means then we able to do our all the kind of work. So then that model is called SaaS in outside of Informatica as well. That's why they named that Informatica MDM SaaS.
Okay,
Basically, this is Informatica MDM cloud only, but SaaS is a terminology which I explained. That's why they embedded this term as SaaS.
got it.
Yeah.
And Sujit, under IACS, is it the only the power center part, or I think there is one more term, right? I think they introduced cloud application integration. What CDA and CI were part of IACS, or only the power center part?
See, IICS is a separate application. I'm not much familiar with that. Mostly I'm from the MDM background. So in IICS, what I understand, they have, we can see here, if we are making these services, data integration cloud. No? So in integration cloud, here we can see this is a part of our IICS. So here we have
Yeah, correct.
application integration console as well. Here we have data integration. So in data integration, we can do ETL part. Here we can do kind of application integration as well. Okay. So application integration means kind of connections and all. So this
Okay.
part we have in ISCS. And for MDM, we have this segment. This segment is completely for MDM.
Right.
So we are going to mostly focus on this part
Okay.
in this
Okay.
class. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
like,
Sujit, sorry, one quick question. Do you still have agent kind of stuff for IDMC? Similar
Yeah.
to
So
IS?
for MDM as well, we are going to install the secure agent, and through secure agent, we are going to do all the kind of development or kind of all sort of MDM work.
So you still need a server. You still need a local server, right? And then we need to install agent in our local server that communicates with IDMC. Is that what it is?
Yeah, right. You are correct. So we can have the dedicated server for secure agent, or if we don't have a dedicated server, we can install in our machine as well. Okay, so we'll see in our class. I will install that in our means working machine. Even if you guys will get the access, you can install in your machine as well. But yes, in organization, in the means practical projects, we do have a kind of one server, because if we have 10 developers, so all 10 will use that secure agent pathway to connect to the cloud. So better we will host that secure agent in the some server. So in organization, in practical project, we do install at the in server, but in kind of our learning and all, we can install in our local desktop as well. That
So
is so.
IDMC also requires an agent.
Yeah, right. You are correct. Yeah.
Right.
IDMC basically is a broader term. No, in IDMC, it includes ISCS, it includes entire MDM, IDQ, profiling, and all. So IDMC is a very broad term. So within IDMC, whatever application you can see here, this all comes up under the IDMC. Okay.
No,
So
somebody asked, right, difference between PaaS and SaaS, platform as a service versus software as a service.
yeah,
Software as a, if you look at the difference, right, platform as a service, you might not have the software, right? They only provide you only platform. You still need to install agent and configure and everything. Whereas software as a service is readily available software to use it. So I'm wondering, even like with IDMC, if you need to install agent and configure and everything, why are they calling it as a SaaS, right? Just to extend the question somebody had before. But anyway, I think once we start learning this one, we might understand. It's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
question.
So,
A
so I
SaaS versus
understand.
PaaS is a good question.
Yeah, I understand your point, means why the difference in the terminology in the case of IICS and case of MDM. So maybe there could be a kind of glitchage in they have not renamed it manually.
I don't think
Because
it's a glitch.
for this, yeah,
IICS
for
is a SaaS software, but it's not, I don't know why it is called PaaS kind of stuff, right?
because
Informatic.
if you understand the way how they use IACS and MDM, both are similar. Both in both cases they are
I
using
see.
the secure agent for accessing the cloud. Okay,
I see.
so if they named MDM as a SaaS, means they kind of given this terminology, they added the terminology SaaS in MDM. They have to use in the IACS as well, because
Gotcha.
SaaS is a kind of general terminology which is out of Informatica as well. Okay, and one glitch here you can see this would be renamed as a IDMC, but still they have not renamed it. So we'll see such kind of things, and I will try to get answer of that questions from Informatica. Means it's a glitch or it's kind of there is some conceptual uh, kind of justification they have. So they will, if they I'll get, I will share with you guys for that. Okay, but this kind of small things we will see that this would be named as this, but the name they have still not changed. For example, you can see the bigger difference. They have not renamed this as IDMC. Why? Because they introduced IICS initially, and they just kept this name as same. Because this IICS should only refer the IICS applications, but this IICS now still including this entire application, which is not correct. This should come under the IDMC. If you see their documentation, Informatica documentation, they have clearly mentioned here this as a IDMC. Okay. So this kind of a small gap in the naming convention we can see. We will see in other places as well in the upcoming classes. So that I will highlight. And for that, I will try to get a clear answer from Informatica and will share with you guys. So people who are from non-MDM background, I will try to take some example and will try to make them understand how the MDM works. So let's try to understand the basic concept of MDM. This concept we can use in the cloud version. This concept we can use in the on-premises. The concept of MDM will always be same throughout this landscape. Either it is on cloud, either it is on-premises. The way of implementation will only differ. Okay. So suppose we are going to implement this MDM in some banking segment. Suppose there is a Bank of America client. This is a banking client, and we are going to implement MDM solution for them. So why they need the MDM means kind of solution? Let's try to understand that. So as we know that every bank they will have a different segment. They will have a saving account segment. They will have current account segment. They will have loan. They will have credit card. Like that, they will have a different segment. And if you are visiting to bank, so they will suppose if you are going for opening a saving account, they will do some KYC and they will ask some information. Okay. On behalf of that, they will store some information. Again, same customer visiting after a few months to the bank for suppose loan or credit card. They will again ask for KYC, complete KYC, and as per the kind of risk level of the product, they will do more stricter KYC and they will collect more additional information. Like that, for the same customer, they can have five, six information if the customer belonging to the five, six different products. Okay. If bank wants to do some kind of campaign, suppose they are onboarding a new product and they want to do some campaign of the new product to the customers, or they introduce some new marketing strategy. They want to introduce that strategy to the customers. So how they can do that? So for the same customer, suppose they have 5 to 6 different email ID, address, mobile number. So how they target the customers? So in this case, bank will be kind of not able to conclude out of 5 6 information which information I should target. And if I am sending campaign to all information, it's a wastage of kind of money for the bank, and also it's not a good practice to send the same campaign to the customer multiple times. So to simplify this problem, they introduced the MDM. So in MDM, what we can do, if we have multiple record of the same customer, we can create one master record that is called master data or golden data. Okay, and that master data can be used by many campaign kind of team or data warehouse team or other team in terms of downstream applications. So whatever downstream applications they have, they all can use that master data. And in place of multiple data, they can just use the single data of each customer and they can do whatever they want. So that is the advantage of using MDM. Now, how they do? So let's try to understand that. Suppose there are sources of the data in the bank. Sources we can take, suppose saving account. Now here we can take loan segment. Then here we can take credit card. So this all we can understand. This all are different kind of sources or segments in the bank. Okay. Yeah. So for in saving account, they noted some customer name, and they noted some customer, suppose mobile number. I'm taking few attribute only to understand it easier. Email and some address. Okay. So these attributes they noted. They will have more attributes in the real-time project. Just we are taking few as an example. In saving account, suppose they taken some customer as a Naveen. Mobile number, suppose they taken something like 111. Just I'm taking for example. Email ID, suppose they taken as a E1, and address they taken suppose as for someone as a Singapore. Customer was there in Singapore that time. Now the same customer visited to same bank in the different country. So he requested for loan. So again they will do the KYC and they will note down this information. So maybe this time they noted information like this for the customer. Mobile number suppose got change of the customer during that time. Their email also got changed. May change or this could be same. This all information. Sometime it could be same to same 100%, but in some time it can change also. As you know that mobile number can change or cannot change. Email ID can change or cannot change. Okay. And this time suppose customer moved to China. The customer may be in Singapore, but just I'm taking example, the customer moved to the other country or other kind of address. In case of credit card, when customer visited to the bank recorded name as suppose Naveen Singh, Naveen Kumar. Mobile number they recorded like 333. This is E3 they recorded email edge. And again, suppose customer moved back to India, some places, Bangalore, India. Okay, so for the same customer here, we can see we have 3 names, we have 3 mobile number, 3 email, 3 address. If bank want to do some campaign, which information they should consider? So for that, we will implement MDM solution now. So MDM solution, basically this Informatica MDM solution works on the weightage concept that is called trust. In some MDM application, you will hear the term of weightage. In some application, they call that term as a weightage. Okay. So what is that? They will say that if you want to go to MDM developer to implement this MDM solution for this kind of scenario, so MDM developer will ask you, what is the weightage, what is the trust score you have for the name which is coming from this source. So as a MDM developer, technical person, we will ask the particular attributes which we are considering, suppose mobile number. If mobile number is coming from saving account or loan or credit card, what is the trust score or weightage you have? So that will be taken care by business basically, and they will give that value to technical people. That will be, they will do some data sampling or kind of data profiling, and on the basis of that they will give that value. So that value they give out of 100. Suppose for name they are saying, if we are getting name from saving account, we are 70% confident. Okay, so they will give this trust score as 70. Same like that, they will give some value of mobile number like suppose 80. This is 75. So this will be given by business basically, 80. For loan, so in loan also suppose they are giving value like that. Mobile number they given suppose 85. Email is still same. And for address, for loan they will do address verification strictly. So suppose we are giving 90. Address will be more kind of uh, trusted information in case of loan. And for credit card, suppose they given name as 85, mobile number as 85, email again as suppose 80, and address again they will deliver credit card on address, so they will make sure address is correct. Suppose let's take this as 85. So this kind of weightage they will give. So they will give this weightage for each and every attributes for which they are serious. For those attributes which they will not give the weightage, so that we will handle separately. That means we will just see the kind of, we can write some rule for that. Like if we have the recent information, then that recent information we can use that in our master record. But if they are giving this trust score like this, so we have to configure this trust score like in on-premises. If you guys remember, we used to configure this trust score like this here. Okay. So same like this, we can configure this trust score in MDM SaaS cloud as well. Here in Business 360, for that you have to go in new, and here you have to come to, so first you have to create the source system, and after creating the source system, before that we have to create the entity means base subject, customer, product, or whatever. After creating the entity, we will create the source system, and within source system we will be able to kind of assign the trust score weightage. Okay, so the concept of implementation will be same, and if we implement that in the tool, in the application, then what the tool will do? So what application will do? Application will give us flexibility to execute or to find the match candidate. Okay. So we do write a match rule to find the similar candidate. For customers, we will try to find the similar customers. For product, we will try to find the similar product and all. So we do write different match rule, which we are going to cover in the coming classes. And with the help of match rule, it will find a similar candidate. Here we can see these three Naveen uh, is a kind of one customer we are saying. But in the real-time project, we will have millions of records, right? Like Naveen, we will have millions of customers for one organization. So how we can filter out or we can group one customer group at one place? Like all Naveen record at one place in one group and other customer in other group. How we can do that? For that, we do write a match rule. We will see in the coming class. Okay, and through the match rule, we will be able to group the similar customers. And if we have the similar customers like this Naveen, then we do have the merge rule. Okay, so we can run the merge job, or we can define the do the manual merge as well. Through that merge, what it will do, it will merge the multiple record of the customer, and it will create the master record. So here we call this as a master record. In master record, it will simply see the trust scores. So for example, for customer name, it is having three choice, three customers. So it will just blindly see the trust score. So trust score of this customer is higher. So it will just take the this customer name in the name field while creating the master record. So once it will create the master record, it will just see the trust score. Later we will see that we will have the concept of validation as well. Through that we can lower down the trust scores in case of some incorrect data. So that we will see in the validation rule. But here, for example, whatever higher trust you have, that will qualify for the master record. Here you can see for mobile number, these two value we have equal. So what MDM will do by default, the value which is more recent, like the last updated, the value which have greatest value of last updated, that will be treated in the master record. So suppose credit card uh, belongs to the latest record, then this mobile number will be taken in the master record. Same for email. Here we can see 80 is the highest, so this email will be taken in the master record. And for this is China is highest one, so the address will be this. So what MDM solution will give to the organization? This is a one customer record which is a more trusted. You can use this mobile number, email ID, or address for campaign. Some places this is not 100% accurate as well. So for that purpose, we have data steward team. They will do manual manipulations of data. They can manually update the data. So for that, we have data steward team. We have a business team as well. They can update the data from backend. But in most of the places, it will simplify our complexity of the multiple customers. So that means if you have multiple customer record, we are able to make a single record. So this is the concept of MDM, master data management. We will have multiple records. We will try to create multiple record to a single record, that is called MDM. Management of the such kind of concept is called as a MDM, master data management. Okay. So if you guys have any question in MDM concept, you can ask.
Sujit, I have one question over here.
Yeah.
Is MDM extensively used in BFSI domain only, or we are getting the project from other domain as well? Because I have seen that from BFSI, lot of demand is coming for MDM.
Yeah. So MDM basically they have given this what do you say, solution for multi domain. That means we can use in any domain. First of all, they have not restricted that this solution or this kind of implementation you can do for BFSI or for one other segment. That is a generic solution they have given. That generic solution you can use in any domain, either BFSI, either kind of pharma, either kind of real estate, aerospace. Okay, so you can use in any domain. And as far as where they are mostly being used, so as per my experience, I have seen mostly they are using in the pharma domain and then BFSI domain. These two domain they are mostly extensively using this MDM. Apart from that, in other domain, still they are being used, but the usages are less. But these two domain, as per my last 13-year experience, I have worked mostly on these two domain, pharma domain and banking domain.
Okay, got it. And one more question is, can we consider Informatica as the leader in MDM space as of
Yeah,
now?
this is already a leader. You can do Google and you can see that this is already a leader from last 10 years in the market in MDM segment.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the MDM, like in the backend, we are using Oracle SQL Development. So like, what about the IDMC and all this kind of stuff?
Yeah, so here they have MongoDB in the backend, and that database we will not have a control, but in backend they have the MongoDB for that.
Okay, so like, if we want to see the data, so generally we like fire the query in the backend and we will see the data and we can identify the issues, right? So like
Yeah,
regarding the
like
IDMC,
in on-premises, you can access the tables, you can see the tables, you can do whatever you want. Okay. So this feature we have the database with ourselves, we can do whatever you want, right? In on-premises. But this control will not have in cloud. That will strictly be kind of with the Informatica, with the vendor. So if you want to do anything, you have to raise a support ticket, and if that is a valid SQL or something, they will run it and they will give the result to you. So that flexibility will not have in the cloud.
so like how we can identify the issues.
So for issues, they have the log option. So we can see the log, like in admin, you can see here we have the log option. So through the log, we will see, we can try to figure out the issues. And in some cases, we will understand that we are not able to understand the issue from log as well. Then in that case, we can write the query. They will try to find the detail log from backend. Or if you would like to uh, write some SQL in some of the tables, if you are aware, then you can give that SQL. They will share the result of that through the support ticket.
So like only when the workflow fails, then only we will go for the logs and we will check. So unless until if that like if the workflows like passed, so like we will not check any data like how the data is
Yeah,
uploaded
so
to
if
the.
workflow passed, so we can check the kind of a status and detail of the job from these consoles as well. Like if you have customer 360 and if some job is running, so from here we will able to see like how many record rejected, how many passed. So this all thing we will be able to see from here. We'll see
Yeah,
in
yeah,
point.
like, yeah, so like, this is fine, but I am say like asking the data from the data perspective. So we cannot see any data.
So data, yeah, data you can see, but you cannot see like database. Data you can see, you can search from here. So suppose you want to search the customer data, okay. So you have to search from here. On top of that, you have to select the organization. Let me search something if I have. So I'm suppose searching in organization entity. I don't have any data. So if you have the data, here it's showing zero result. Okay. So you can see all the data from this front end only. Okay. So if you want to search a specific data, you have to put a specific data like employee ID or customer ID. So you can search from here. Or if you want to see a bulk data, you have to just pass a star in the search screen and it will show all the data. So that we can see from here only. We will not have any DB for that. Or stats we can see from the job log, means whatever job log we will have here. So from here we can see the stats, progress stats. And if you want to see the detail of data, you have to search particular data from here and you have to open it. Same like Entity 360.
So like whenever we raise any ticket for GCS team, so like, will they charge for that?
For ticket, I think if you have a lady license, so that support is part of that ticket. So they will
License
not charge
support, right?
separately for that. Yeah,
Oh.
that support they will take care.
So, and Sujit, that the process remains same, right? I think the way of raising the ticket with GCS team and I think maybe earlier they were asking collect the logs and give it. I think now they will have the complete control. I don't think so. We
Yeah,
need
in
to.
MDM SaaS, nowadays just you have to give some screenshot of the error and they have the complete control because in on-premises
Correct.
they don't have control of your kind of landscape.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you pass the kind of org ID or your username and all, so they will able to see the log and all. So now we need to pass the less information
Okay. And the
because they
logs
have control.
earlier in the on-prem, we were seeing that the CMX server log, cleans log, all those
Yeah,
things.
right,
Now
right. We
it's in
had
the
to share
admin.
lots of things. Yeah,
Uh,
lots of
the,
things. Because that all things was under your control, they don't had control, so they had to see that. So they used to say that you please include this law. But now that thing is simplified, all controls are under them. So just they need to see what is your org ID, username and all, so they can easily track back from their side.
But at least from our end to verify the logs in the administrator service under logs, that's the only thing we can verify, at least from us
Right,
first.
right, right. That's the from our side. Just we can see the log from here. We have two type of log: asset log and security log. So from here, we will try to see whatever we can see. If we are not able to understand, or we understand that that log is not sufficient, then we can reach out to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sujit, after the data being is been mastered, so there might be some under-merge and over merges, right? So how
For example, just a minute. I am stopping this recording.